The blush really got me. The red, like I actually do that sometimes. My skin will do that sometimes when it's like really cold. I'm
It,
so glad that it is fall now. Are you feeling the cool, the
oh my
chill?
God, I'm so happy about it. I'm so happy with the
Isn't
fall.
it perfect going weather? Like,
Yes. Did you notice
God.
all the new
Huh?
changes that Twitch did today?
It's something with banners or something. I didn't actually see it, but what's going on? Please let me know.
Like it shows it looks a lot nicer in my opinion. Like when you go to your profile page and everything, or when you go to somebody's video page, it shows like a little banner across above the video, and it says their name, how many videos, how many followers following, like at the top, and then the title is actually below the video now. It's
Oh,
below
so
there, but
more like a
it looks a
cinematic kind
lot.
of look.
Yeah, it looks a lot more clean in my opinion. But you can like click on any of those things up above to see all that stuff. I think they removed like the profile page. Like it really doesn't. I don't think there is a profile page anymore.
Well, to be honest with you, to be real, I didn't even fucking use it.
Yeah,
Like,
it was stupid.
I never even went there.
If I go to my Twitter now because I use the actual thing there, I think it linked me.
Uh-huh.
Let me see here. Did it go to profile again? What is this? Is it actually just going to link to the stream? But like if I go to my Twitter now because Whoops. Okay. I don't need to have that on twice. Um, but yeah, no, it's just it links right to my page now. Although it pops up with a weird like status message on there. I don't get that. Whatever. It's cool. Um, but regardless, no, that's really cool. I like the changes that they made on it. It looks nice.
Swear, like, I didn't have a banner for like 2 or 3 years on my Twitch. I recently just because I didn't even know what the fuck, you know.
Now I'm gonna have to
Like,
redo it because they changed the size of it and stuff.
oh, see, I'm gonna have to commission you then because
Yeah.
like I can do it, but it just looks ugly.
Hey
Well,
Chaos.
it
Hey
doesn't look ugly.
Calamako. How's it going, guys?
It doesn't look ugly when I do these things. It just looks like
Yeah.
not professional, I should say.
New
Like
Twitch layout feels weird. Yeah. I don't know. I like it. It's weird, but I like it. Like
now on mobile, is it any different, or because I'm pretty sure I can't really change much on mobile.
I haven't really seen it on mobile.
Okay.
I don't think they've changed it there. But
Okay. Yeah.
all right. So tonight, guys, what I'm going to be doing here, I'm super excited about this because it's something I've been actually kind of wanting to do for a while. I've been actually considering it. Like, I thought this would be a really cool idea, and I'm going to have to give you guys' opinions on it and stuff, see if you guys would like it. But something I've been wanting to get back into is game development. Like, I used to do it a lot. I used to actually make games on the computer, thanks to the predecessor to this current program that I'm using here that you see on the screen. Used to be called the Games Factory way back in the day, and then it went to multimedia. No, wait, no. Original one was Click and Play, and then the Games Factory, and then Multimedia Fusion, Games Factory 2, Multimedia Fusion 2, and then now they've gone to Clickteam Fusion is what they're at now. So it's basically it started out a long time ago, like on the old like Windows 3.1 and shit. I'm old. Started out way back then as a means to produce video, like your own games or your own programs, without having to have any knowledge of how to actually program. Because the biggest hurdle of getting into programming in general is just learning all of the language, because nothing's really presented in a way. It's just code on a screen, and that's really hard it's intimidating for some people to get into. But the original Click and Play, and now all the way up to Clickteam Fusion, which is what I'm using right here on the screen, makes things a lot easier to use, and learn how to become a game developer. Hello, Yoshi. So what I wanted to do tonight is just show you guys some of the basics of how this works, and then you guys can kind of gauge whether or not it's something you might be interested in, something you might be intrigued by, and something you might want to get into in the future. Because right now, on the Humble Bundle, they are actually having this program, Clickteam Fusion 2.0, which is their latest one, as well as, I'm actually going to look at this just to give you guys a price of what we got going on in this, okay? So, let's go over here real quick. Software, Clickteam Fusion. Let's go to the store page, why don't we? So, Clickteam Fusion itself, if you were to buy Clickteam Fusion, just the basic Clickteam Fusion 2.5, is $99. Alright? If you were to buy, let me look at all of this stuff. If you were to get the developer upgrade, which lets you like make some professional stuff and everything, it's, oh my god, it's $300.
It's $300.
It's $300.
Can I get a coupon?
Holy shit.
What the fuck?
Not only that, but that basically allows you to export your games onto your PC, or to, I think, create installers for them so other people can have them on their PCs.
Okay.
On top of that, there's an Android exporter, which lets you put your games onto Android phones, and an iOS exporter, and then an HTML5 exporter. So iOS, obviously, is for iPhones and iPods. And then the HTML one is so you can have your games in like web pages and stuff. Those are, the Android one is $99. The iOS exporter is $150. The HTML5 one is $75. So we're looking at over $600, essentially, for all of this shit. That's a lot of fucking money. Right now, on Clickteam, or sorry, on the Humble Bundle, all of this shit is $15. It's $15. Like, and I'm not paid by them or anything. I'm freaking excited because I've been wanting the iOS exporter, the developer upgrade. I've been wanting all of this stuff for a long while now, but obviously I couldn't get it because it's really expensive. But it's $15 right now. Holy shit. So again, if you have any interest whatsoever in game development, but you don't really know where to start, I highly recommend getting this because it is one of my favorite programs to use. It's very easy. The original one, way back in the day that I used to use, was extremely powerful. It was limited, but it was powerful at the same time. But they've come out with so much new, like so many new features and advancements and everything else, and like extensions. Like people can create their own extensions and stuff now. So it basically, if you're interested in like more, I'd say more 2D game development, then this is exactly what you want. This isn't real good for 3D game development. There are some 3D extensions and stuff that you can use, but it's more so for 2D stuff. Some games that have been developed in this, I mean, I know the whole Five Nights at Freddy's series was developed in this program. So all of those was in there. I'm trying to think what else. They have it like on their page and everything too. Other games that have been developed in it. The Escapists was in there. Let's see here. Concrete Jungle. I think, what was that other game? Hotline Miami was also developed in this. So yeah, it's pretty awesome what you can do with it. And yes, that is Ace in the background. Say hi, Ace.
Hi. I have a question for you, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
What interests you the most about game design? Why is this something that piques your interest?
When I was a kid, I used to program in BASIC on the old Apple IIe's. Yeah, I used to do a lot of programming, and that was my dream, was to make video games. I wanted to create my own video games and everything else. So for the longest time, that's what I did. That's what I was going to college. That's what I was going to school for, was so I could make my own games. And just somewhere along the line, I kind of fell out of it. So kind of unfortunate. But it's always in the back of my head. Like I always get game ideas. I always think about this stuff. I always play video games and judge them based on game design and stuff. So if I see things in a game that I'm like, that's really poor design, like it's always there. So I don't know. I've just always wanted to make my own video games. I just always had fun ideas that I thought would make a good game.
Do you still have any fun ideas?
Oh yeah, I've got a lot of good ideas that I'd love to get into games, but it just takes so much time to create. So but
I guess less money now. Yeah.
Which is, I'm so excited for. Oh my god, I got all this stuff for $15. But yeah, so this, I just kind of wanted to show you guys kind of a thing of, like, this is an old game. You can see on the screen here, I made this back in 2003. But this is just kind of a general demonstration of something like that I made back in the day. This is an old Pac-Man game that I made. I changed the C to a K to prevent myself from copyright infringement.
I was about to say, like, where is the trademark?
But, like, yeah, I developed this one and spent a lot of time going over it. So real quick here, I'm just going to show you guys, like, kind of what it looks like when you run it. I put it on the screen there. So I made it so it, like, starts up like this. It looks all normal. You see the little Pac-Man kind of go across the bottom of the screen and everything. It's all cute. But yeah, I spent a lot of time on this because I really wanted to kind of develop my own Pac-Man game engine and stuff. So, and this is kind of what I was talking about, like game design. You know, it's a nice little title screen, gives a little demo mode. You know, shows kind of people some basic concepts. Does this stuff and kind of entertains them while they sit at the screen. They're like, well, what's going to happen next? You know, it's all unimportant. You can just completely start the game if you want to. But at the same time, it gives you some information. And then if you wait long enough, it will actually go into this next screen and show you how to play the game. So there, you can click on the instructions and it'll take you there, but this also just kind of does this for you too. So I'll let this kind of play through so you can kind of just see some of the stuff here. But yeah, like all of this is stuff that you can do in this program. And this is stuff you could do in the program way back in the day. Like this was way back in the old Multimedia Fusion days. So so basically, I'll go ahead and exit out of that. We'll start the game up here. And it's very obviously just, you know, a Pac-Man clone. But this was kind of my own little style that I made. I made the ghosts have their, like, these cute little eyes and everything. Sell it on Steam for $1. I actually worked with a friend of mine to, like, kind of create my own little sound effects and stuff. So they sounded similar, but they were still different enough from the originals. But yeah, like this is, it's so old. It's a really, really old game, kind of old engine and all that jazz. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, making it and everything.
Where can we play this?
Huh?
Where can we play it?
Nowhere. On my computer.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just on my, I mean, I can upload it. I mean, I can upload an executable and everything. No! I've also got Final Fantasy Brave Exvius music in the background, so that's going to be a thing.
In the game?
But anyway, so this is kind of an example of things that you can do with this. Obviously, this is just, as strange as it sounds, you know, of course you wouldn't think that Pac-Man would be like a hard engine to make and everything, but this was actually quite a challenge to create the whole engine and everything for it. Hello, Rocket Shock. Thank you for following over from Ace's Twitter. Oh god, no, go away. I'm going to finish this level and then I'll kind of move on.
Now, I personally say, if I never did anything like this, that if I wanted to get into it, like one thing that stops me from like trying out something is how daunting it looks.
Right.
From the beginning,
right.
Honestly, and I'm probably certain. I'm not looking at it right now, but I'm certain that whatever program this is gives you a lot of options to do a lot of different things.
Correct. Which is why I really encourage anybody who wants to get into game development to give this a try. And I'm going to show you why. We're going to start completely from scratch, and I'll show you how easy it is to make things work. Now, some people may look at this and say that it's kind of a bad influence. You know, like you're not learning actual programming, you're not learning actual, you know, code and a language. But in my opinion, it's a nice basic start for someone who doesn't really want to put forth dozens of hours to learn all that stuff before they can even get to doing what they want to do. So we're going to go ahead and close this out, because we don't need this. Actually, before I do that, let's, real quick here, these little windows over here at the side, and you can see my mouse cursor. Sorry if it's kind of small, but this is the program, and you can see the details of the program down here. We don't need to worry about that for right now. But this is right here. This is our first frame, which is what we're on right now. Our second frame is, what's that? Oh, it's the instructions, and this is where all the instructions and stuff pops up. Third frame is, this is our actual basic game mode. And you can see all these little things that you didn't see beforehand, all these weird little things on the screen. All that stuff is kind of invisible, but that's what makes the game run. Hello, the Joker Lee. Hi, I see you. Sorry, I forgot to say something. And sup, FM Volk. But yeah, like basically, and this game has different mazes. Each frame you can see here has a new maze that I created and everything. So we have all these different little mazes and stuff that you can go in. And then I had it. I originally made this back in the day for. It was for an online arcade website that somebody had it hosted on, and they'd submit your high scores, and it was a high score listing. But anyway, let's close this out, and we're going to start up a new project. Now, you'll have to forgive me if I don't know everything, because, like I said, I used to work back in the day on their older programs, the Games Factory, Multimedia Fusion. So this one is still going to be kind of new to me, but a lot of the stuff that they do is very much so, it's very similar. If you knew the old stuff, you'll pretty much be able to flow into the new stuff. So let's go new, and this is where we start to see our frame and everything. This right here is how big the frame is, so it's a 640 by 480 window frame. So like if I were to play this game right now, it's gonna, well, that's gonna mess up a little bit. Hang on, let me do something here. So it's gonna be a 640 by 480 window. Let's do this entire window, and let's do, can I just basically get rid of this? Application 1. Here we go.
No question.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah. What's your question?
Hold on. Okay.
So I'm kind of resizing this down a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better.
If I did make a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And say, for instance, it's popular and or successful.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be able to make profit off of it, could I?
You can actually. With the that's
really?
that's what that $300 developer edition is for.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
That's why I was excited about this. So, looking at this here, you can see the empty frame. Obviously, there's nothing there. There's nothing that we have in there because we haven't actually created anything in it. But you can resize this as it is. You can put whatever you want in there. You can change the size of the frame. Like right now it's 640 pixels by 480 pixels. Cool. We'll leave it at that for right now just because that's what we've got it at. If we click on this and double click, we're going to go into our frame. Now, similar to what you saw in that Pac-Man game that I made, this is where everything kind of happens. Obviously pretty empty right now. There's not a whole lot here. But what we're going to do is we're going to right click and go to Insert Object. So we're going to put an object into the frame. The two main objects that you would use the most in this program are going to be active objects and, where is it at? God, they got so many new things. And background objects? Yeah, just click on background. Yeah. Backdrop, picture, quick backdrop. So whatever you want to use there. So these are the two main things that you're going to be using. Is going to be active objects and background objects. The main difference between them, active objects are going to be things like, let's take a Pokemon game for example. An active object is going to be like your character sprites or the other trainers in the world, or Pokeballs that are just laying on the ground that are items, stuff like that. That's going to be an active object, something that's going to be interactable, something that's going to work with the that you're going to be able to use in the game. Background objects are what they sound like. They're just going to be backgrounds. So we're going to create an active object first. We'll just put it here, and it's going to pop this little thing up. It looks like a fun little diamond. We double click on it, and we're going to get into our oh, it's not going to actually show that. Shit. Let me see if I can get this to do this. I gotta change this. That's dumb. Okay. Okay, this is not working out too well because the multiple frames is what's kind of a pain in the ass. But I'll get it to work here. So this is basically the basis of what we're looking at when it comes to developing a thing, our object. So what we're going to do here, let's zoom in a little bit on it. This is our object that it looks like. Well, we don't want this. Let's get rid of it. So we don't want that. Let's create something. And let's see here. Again, you can change all the details about this too. I gotta remember how to do this because this one is a little bit different compared to what I'm used to. Here it is. Nope, that's not it. That's that. That's not what I want. Resize. Here we go. Alright, so I'm gonna make our little thing 16 pixels by 16 pixels. We'll apply that. Obviously, we lose a little bit right up there. And give me a second here. I'm going to config something. Right-click pixel color. That's a personal preference for me. I like it better when I can just right-click and just draw over it with that. But for some reason, it's not doing it. Let's see here. What if I put this in here? Oh, I'm not on the right tool. Derp. That's why.
How?
All right.
How dynamic of games can I make in this?
Well, like I said, back in the day when I when I was first using this program, it was pretty. It wasn't like really limited, but it had some limitations. Like you could only have like I think 255 objects on the screen, like active objects. It didn't matter how big they were or how small they were. If there was more than like 255, the game like kind of got a little crazy. If you had like over 1,000 events, which are basically the coding that dictates how your game runs, if you had over 1,000 of those, then the game would just start forgetting certain ones when you ran the program, so stuff would bug out and not work properly. But as they've gone on, I don't think it's really a problem anymore. I don't really know if there's too much of a limit anymore. Like I said, if you're interested in making like a 2D game, this program will pretty much let you do anything you want. I've seen people make amazing stuff with this. So let's create. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Example.
Well, like I said, Five Nights at Freddy's, Hotline Miami. Those are some of the big ones that came out. The Escapists. So those are some of the big ones. But there's just a lot of. I've been in the community for a long time. There's back in the day there was a game called Eternal Daughter that a group of guys spent. There's two guys I think, and they spent. Gosh, they must have spent years making that game. Like they'd show off screenshots of it and everything, and it was just when they finally released it, it was so cool because it was like, you know, they spent all this time making this game, and it was awesome when it actually finally came out. Let's see.
Well then.
Yeah. So I mean.
Also, hold on.
Yeah, it's.
I'm still here, but hold on.
No, you're fine. So what I'm going to do here, I mean, I'm just going to try to make it kind of simple. I don't want to spend like forever on this. I'm just going to make some cute little sprite. We're just going to make something. We're going to try to, well, let's make it kind of Pokemon-like. Let's just do kind of like a Pokemon style kind of thing. Or like an old classic Final Fantasy. How about that? Let's do the little feet down here. We'll do that a little later. So, unfortunately, a lot of like game stuff is kind of. I should have had a little bit more of this prepared, so that's why I said I'm just going to kind of like do it very basic, but give you guys kind of an idea of what you can do with this stuff. Let's.
As much as I miss PvP, it's kind of fun to play this stuff again.
Let's make it this way. I can't really do that. I mean, that's kind of like a general. You can kind of see what's going on here. So obviously pretty tiny. It kind of looks like the Tanuki Mario. But you can pick from all these colors over here at the side. You know, you can choose whatever you want. So let's give him some like peach skin here. Cool. Let's do generic stupid brown hair or whatever. So we'll give him like a little bit of like a, well, we're not going to go all the way out that far up. Let's do like,
Let's search coming back. Shit.
do something like this. We'll make his hair kind of go over this way a little bit. Have like a little kind of cowlicky thing in the back.
Are there any rules of this game? Like things that you're not allowed to like do or use or license?
Well, I mean, you know, obviously you kind of want to make your own stuff. If you're selling something that's like, you know, licensed to somebody else, then yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing that. I don't think they'd allow that very well. But other than that, no, I don't think there's really any limitations.
Do they have to approve anything?
That I really don't know. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've kind of gotten into it, so it's hard to say. Anyway, so we'll give him a little bit, let's give him his little hands down here. We'll give him an orange shirt, because I like orange. Darker orange, though, because we don't want that to conflict with his hands, not being able to see them visually. And then I actually am going to move this up a little bit. Move his hands up a little like that. I may just do this instead.
Okay.
We're going to go and make his little pant legs, and then make this inner part darker. Maybe actually do this instead. Make some little white shoes. Okay, so you can kind of see our little guy there. Not much there, but that's just a quick thing. We made a little sprite. We made a little person. He's got his little shoes, and he's got his little pants and things. If you want to get more into it, you can, obviously. Like, you can go over here, and you can just, like, add some shading in. You know, make it look a little bit more dynamic. You can take his hair color, and you can put this down here, and do some of this stuff. So, like, pixel art's huge. It's a lot of fun to deal with. It's a lot of fun to work with, especially when you start getting a little bit better at it and, you know, realizing some stuff. But you kind of have to spend a lot of time pixel arting. It's not something that's going to come to you right away. It's something that you're going to actually have to, you know, do a little bit of time, spend a little time and a little bit of effort into it to make it actually work how you want to. So,
Now, boss, is there anything here pre-made that I could use in case I don't have skills to make things like this?
I think they do have some pre-built-in stuff. Yes. So they do have some pre-built items in the game. Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'd probably make my characters like stick figures, to be real.
And that's completely fine. He looks angsty. I'm trying to see here. Let me see, because I know they've got. Let's see here. Let's go to File, Help, Tutorial. So there's a whole tutorial system that's built into this game as well. I wish this would actually capture all of the different windows, layered windows. Let's see here. Is it going to capture the help window? A little bit. Yeah, it's just going to talk about that stuff. I know that you can download. There are things like, especially if you get this game through the Steam Workshop, there's a whole bunch of like different tutorials and stuff that you can play with and learn how to do things. And there are people out there who create like graphic packs, like graphic character packs and everything that you can use on your own and play with. So yeah, there are resources out there on the Steam community and everything that you can kind of play with. So we've got our little guy here that we made. And let's go back into zooming in on him so we can see him again. Killa Minis on YouTube. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying your time here. So you can see here on this, we've got our one little frame down here. So this is where we kind of get into the little more complicated stuff. I'm not going to go too much into it right now. I just want to kind of show you the basics of what you can do with this. For right now, we've got our little guy, and we're going to, you can do a Control-C on this. These are the different directions that this guy can go. So he's got 4 different directions for his animations. We can actually increase these. Now we've got 8, 16, and 32 different directions. So if you wanted to spend a lot of time and make your character have unique animations for 32 different directions, go for it. It's hard to do, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with 4. Let's go ahead over here, and we're going to paste our guy here. So now he's over in this direction too. And I can do that for all the directions if I want. And obviously if I wanted to, I could change his little animations for every side. Right now, all of his animations for every side are the same thing, just because we're just going to kind of do what we can for right now. What you can also do is paste this again. And now, look at this. I got 2 frames. They both are the same thing, so it's not really going to do anything different at the moment. But if I make any changes to this frame, for example, let's do this. Let's do our standard old RPG walk cycle. Let's make him, let's move this down a little bit. I'm going to go back here. Let's take the select off. We don't need that. And let's kind of bump his little hair up a little bit like he's walking. And we're going to make this little arm come up. Actually, we'll make this one go back. We'll make this one go forward.
I have my super boots on.
Make this little foot come up here. Probably not that much. We'll see here. We'll move that around a little bit, and we're going to take this other little foot and we'll make it go back because we don't want.
Yeah, that was odd.
So we'll make that one go back a little bit. I can leave that like that. Maybe do this. Alright, so now if we switch between the frames, we can see here how his little foot goes out, his other arm goes back, and that arm goes forward. So again, minor little animation for that. If I take this one and copy it, and then we paste it over here, and then we take this one, we're going to copy that one more time. We're just going to be cheap about it. I'm going to put that here. And what we're going to do here, this is going to be fun. I'm going to take this whole bottom area of him, because I want to leave his hair the same. So I'm going to take this bottom area here, and I am going to flip that. Just like that. So now we've got our little animation. And we can play it too by clicking this little button. Where is it here? Play. Well, alright. First of all, we got to loop the animation. So you got our frames here. And then we've got our direction options. Here's where you can determine how fast the animation is, what it looks like, all that other jazz. So let's slow this down a little bit, because 50 is pretty, I think the highest is 100 is what it can go to. Let's see. Whoop. Yeah, 100's the fastest, 1's the slowest. So we're going to put it down to about a 10. And we're going to have it loop. So the animation is just going to continuously loop, is what it's going to be. So now if we play it, you can see how he walks. Look at that little guy walk. Oh, you can't see it. It's not showing it to you. Hang on. This is so annoying. I can't just show this stuff off. So, boop, 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 boop. So that's basically what he's going to look like. On this screen over here, though, we can see here, he's kind of tiny, which, you know, depending on what you're doing, is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I'm going to go ahead and resize him. So let's click on him. Over here, we've got our, whenever you click on an object, this is going to bring up all the information about that object. So if we click here, you can see it's currently 16 by 16. I'm going to change this to 32 by 32. And it fucked it up. So we're going to go back like this. How do I do this and not make it screw it up? Properties, that's just going to put it over there. Clone. It's been a while since I've done this. Hang on. Let's do this. Let's just go back to editing it again. Alright, and what I'm going to do here, we're going to go frames, go down here to these frames. I know there's a resize zoom. Here it is, zoom. Alright. Proportional, insert after. Because I like things pixely. That's my own personal preference. Oh, that's so bad. I mean, it made them all blurry. I guess that's kind of cool. Oh my god, what did it do? Cancel that shit, yes. I told you it's going to be a little bit of a learning process. I don't know exactly how this program works exactly yet. Clone frame. It's just going to add another clone. I don't want that. Okay. Man, I know there's a way. Zoom. Insert after. Number of frames 10. Oh, that's what I did wrong. 1. 32, 32. Insert after. It still did a zoom. Delete. Yes. Zoom. 1. 32, 32. Proportional. Is that going to still do... It still does the shitty one. I don't want that. Alright, hang on. Because I know there's a way to resize things without them getting transparent, save background. Edit.
So in this game, can you establish, is there a flat out way to establish win conditions and lose conditions and hitboxes and things like that?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
Totally. God, I'm trying to think of a way to... Whatever. Let's just zoom in for now.
Boss. Now, I took a video game design class when I was in high school, and I have to ask you, what are the basic designs of a game?
The basic designs of a game?
Basically, what makes a game a game? What does it need?
Well, I mean it's a hard question to answer, because especially with all these indie games lately coming out that have been like less of a game and more of like an experience, it's hard to answer. But usually a game has some sort of an objective, usually a win and a lose condition, and I mean just gameplay as well, which can be extremely varied. So it depends on what the game creator wants their game to do.
Okay.
So I mean, Ace over here making broad ass questions.
Well, I mean.
No, I get it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What? Give an example of a game.
Of a game?
Yes.
Well, I mean, let's go with my old classic favorite, Pac-Man.
Okay.
So, I mean, you've got your arena, you've got the game itself. The win conditions are clear the stage. The lose conditions are you touch a ghost and you die. And the overall purpose of the game is, I suppose that's the other thing I should add, a purpose. Because there are some games that, have an end goal, like a Final Fantasy game, for example. And then there's other games that don't have an end goal. They're basically just based on like Overwatch. You know, there's really no end goal there. It's just a thing to entertain you. So, let's see here.
I have an important question.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you,
Uh-huh.
right? Don't answer it yet, because I want chat to answer.
Okay.
Okay. Is Nintendogs a game?
I'm going to wait for them to do it. Of course, it's like in before Pac-Man. Yep. I'm sorry. I'm easily predictable.
Give it about a minute.
Initial direction.
I
Here's
want to see what everyone says.
Okay.
You got that in the mailbox?
But continue a little bit.
Okay. So now what I need to do, and this is, I got to set up another fucking window. Hang on. I'm going to do window capture 3. Okay, it's going to put that up above. I don't care. Let's move this down here. God, I got so many of these things all of a sudden. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a run the application, and this needs to be application 1.
Okay. Answer time. What's your answer?
My answer is Nintendogs a game?
Yes.
Yeah, I consider it a game.
Why?
Well, there's no win conditions, but there are.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's more of a game than, say, Dear Esther. I mean,
Correct.
but you know, it's a method of entertainment, I suppose I should say. So.
Well, okay. What I learned was when you have something like an activity like that that doesn't have a win condition, it turns from a game into a toy.
That's very true as well.
Because there's like if you play Nintendogs, it's awesome and everything, right?
Right.
But you can't win and you can't lose. You know.
There are some in-game things to get. I think you had to collect enough money and all that other jazz. And but yeah, I guess I see what you're talking about. And a lot of cell phone games could be considered toys too.
No. What chat? Like when I say game, I don't mean like no. You should not sell Nintendogs. Not like that. But I don't believe it's technically considered a game because there's no way to win or to lose. By definition. Anything that's like that, that's like Sims, that doesn't have a win condition, right? It's just like whatever, do whatever.
Yeah, not that I know of. I don't think it really has much of a win condition either.
Yeah. But apparently those games are called toys.
Yeah, I mean, but do people still consider them games? Oh my god.
Well, yes, of course.
Why does it do that? Oh, it looks so bad.
Your dog can die?
And
or a toy or a simulator, my bad.
Yeah. The dog couldn't die. I think it just ran away eventually.
It ran away?
Yeah, well, did it?
What?
I think it ran away. Would it run away after a while?
When it says run, when you say run away, do you mean like run away like as in go catch it, or run away like as in buy bits?
Yeah, I think it was like buy bits. Yeah, it was like, nope, I'm done. But I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. I don't know.
And you have to get a new dog?
I think so. I don't know.
That's horrible. Oh my god. Oh my god. So all those people that haven't played Nintendogs for like the longest time are gonna come back to no dogs?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Yeah, the dog did run away when you didn't take care of it. Yeah, that's what Joker Lee's saying in there. Stretch. Is this actually going to stretch it?
That makes me sad.
Oh, it did. There we go. I figured it out, you guys. I figured it out. Okay, let's make our little guy bigger. So I'm going to make it much bigger so that you guys can see it on the stream when we do things. So let's do this. This is what I've been trying to do this whole time. I figured it out. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of searching around your game to find out. Okay. So now if I were to run this, you can see our little guy there and how he's animating. Pretty cool, huh? Yay! Look at him walk. So we got our little walking animation. It's super cute. Anyway, so one thing we did wrong here is you can see a list of all these animations over here at the side. They give you all these default animations just to kind of help you with creating a game. So you've got like stopped, you've got walking, running, appearing, disappearing, bouncing, launching, so like jumping, falling, climbing, all this stuff, you know, basic platforming kind of stuff that you can do. So what we're going to do here, obviously we've got this animation on the wrong one. We've got our stopped animation, or our walking animation, on our stopped frame. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy all of these.
Yeah.
We're going to copy those. Oh my god, you guys can't see it. Hang on. Sorry. I completely messed it up. Okay, let's go back over this. So here's the list of things I was talking about. That's over at the side. You can see all the little list of, you know, walking, running, appearing, disappearing, all those things. God, this is so annoying with the whole multiple windows thing. It doesn't capture all of this. I need to just capture monitor. Actually, let me do that. That's going to make things a lot fucking easier. Hang on. Let's just do add monitor capture. Let's do monitor capture, monitor 1. Okay, let's move this down, 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 down. That's going to make things so much easier than all this other shit.
Oh.
Alright, and then I got to resize it. Hang on just a second.
I could be wrong, but I don't think that small arm is specialist effects heavy. I think it only affects one of the first two. I might be wrong on that, though.
Alright, so you're going to see all this weird shit at the bottom of my screen that I'm using, but that's okay, I don't care.
No.
Doesn't really matter. Alright, that's going to make things so much easier. Oh my gosh, now I can show you guys everything. I don't have to switch things. Alright, and we've got our mouse cursor moving around too here. Okay, so you can see all the different like things over here that we've got. And I can actually make this a little bit bigger too. I don't think we need it that big.
I could do that. That I don't have, but saltwater I could do.
But we don't have anything in walking. So currently, we just have this walking animation, which is here on our stopped thing. So we did that wrong. So let's copy all these little guys here. We're going to copy them, and we're going to move those over to our downward animation of walking. And then we're going to go back over here to stop, and we're going to delete these other frames. We don't need those. Yes, I want to delete these frames. So now, when we go to run our game again, you'll see here, he's standing completely still. He's just standing there, not doing anything. Cool. I got to get more music going. Actually, I'm going to get some music here. Let's see, what do we got? 10-minute songs. Let's bump up to this. There we go. We'll get some Pac-Man music in the background because I want to listen to it. Anyway, so now we're back over here, and we've got this, our little animation. So you may be asking, how do we make him move? Well, that's a very good question. Do I think you're trash or recyclables? I don't think you're either. That's weird. Why would you ask that? No. Don't ask that question. I don't think you're either. I think you're awesome. This is our guy. And you can do a few different things with Clickteam Fusion. So, like, we can go ahead and, like, over here on our properties for this guy, you can see we've got a little movement option. Right now, his movement type is static, but you can see all these different things here. All these different things. So we have, like, one of them that's called an 8-direction movement, which is pretty basic. Please enter a physics engine object in this frame.
Okay, why?
Okay. I have to do that? Hang on. Can I just do... Let's just do regular. For right now, we'll just do 8-direction. Okay. So landfill it is then. Okay. So basically, they've got these pre-built things in here. Non-physical movements. Mouse-controlled, static, bouncing ball, path, all of this stuff here. Race car, but we're going with 8-direction because that gives us the option to make our character move. Now, these default ones already have everything kind of programmed in for you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to make it work. If I run the frame, I can use my... Oh my god, why is it so small? What? resize him? Ah, shit! I gotta do it again. Hang on.
That is kind of nice.
Oh, it's because the other sizes are the normal size. Whatever. So he's gonna change size a little bit, but you can see how if I start moving down, see how he moves around. Now I've got this I've got this thing I can move around with my keyboard. It already has this default built in. So you can just do this, make him go off the screen. I can go wherever I want. So I messed up again. You can kind of see there in that I didn't make my walking animation loop. So let's make it loop. Let's turn it to, what do we have it at? 15 for speed. All right, there we go. Let's change that. So now our little guy should walk around. Much better. Look at that. Alright, so see? Basic stuff in there, and of course he keeps shrinking sizes every single time because all of my frames of animation here are the same. They're all the little size, which I don't want. We'll get rid of those. We've got the downward one, which is the big one, and since that's the only animation in there, it's going to default to that one. So now if we were to play it again, and this is what this comes down to a lot of, is you're gonna test your application a lot. You're going to like create something, make a new change, and then go test it out, make sure it's working properly, and then you're going to go back and you're going to do some more little work, and then you're going to test it out. So now that we've got this, obviously he doesn't have any other walking directions, but that's fine. That's what we want. We just want him to be like that. Now that we've got that, I mean, like I said, that's a basic thing. What we need to do, let's do this, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We need to create some sort of an obstacle so that he can't just move off of the screen. So we're going to go back to our background object and create a backdrop. Put that right there. It's 32 by 32. Again, I'm going to make it 16 by 16. Apply. And we are going to delete all of this stuff in here. Now you can see there's a little bit of different stuff in here. There are no animation frames. No animation frames down here. There's no options for different animations or anything. A background object is simply that. It's just a background. That's all it is. So we're going to make, I'm just going to make this very simple. I'm not even going to spend time making these. I'm going to make like a wall. I'm going to go edit. Let's resize this again, make it 64 by 64, apply. And I've got my little wall here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clone this object, put another one here. Now this one's considered backdrop 2, and you can start to see that all of your objects start to create in this list over here, right? So we've got our first guy, we've got our backdrop object 1, backdrop object 2. Now what I can do, and I'll show you this here in a moment, I'm going to create this. We're going to turn that green. So now we got some grass. But what we're going to want is we're going to want multiples of these around the arena. This is just for me personally right now. I'm going to create a grid so that I've got this grid. And now I can put my objects perfectly in this grid and they'll all snap to it. And you can see how I can grab off to the side here and grab and drop these in here, right? So I'm dragging all these little backdrops in here and putting these in here in the arena. Let's zoom back out of here. What are the zoom buttons? Control plus number plus. I have to actually use the number plus? That's weird. Alright, we'll do this. That's good enough. We can see mainly the whole arena there. So we're going to keep dragging these in, and we're going to create an entire area of this stuff. I can make it a little bit easier on myself by doing this, copying and pasting these. And then we'll do the same thing for the top area too. We're going to copy these, paste those, and put those down here at the bottom. And we're going to just fill in the gaps over here on this side. We'll put in these green backdrops. We'll delete this one. I don't want that one in there. I'm going to select multiple ones here.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's why.
Got all those? Let's put those in here. Let's do it again. You can see how we're just kind of creating our little gaming environment for our guy. All right, great. So we've got this now, right? Got a little environment. If we go and play the game again, nothing's really different. We can move him around everywhere. He can just walk wherever he fucking wants because he's a little bitch. But what we're going to do here is click on one of these objects here, right? So now that I click on that, if I go over to the options for this object, and keep in mind, unless you make separate objects for each one of these, it's going to do it for every one of these things. If I were to create multiples of him in the arena, like this, I've got multiples of my little guy in the arena now, and if I go over here, both of them move at the same time, because they're both the exact same object. But if I were to delete him, clone this object, put it over here, and change its its motion to static, now I only have the one move. The other one walks around. So, and you can see again here how it's got that other object over here in the list. So they're two separate objects now. Even though they look the same, they're two separate ones. Regardless, going back to my initial point, what we're going to do is click on these brown objects that I made, and we are going to, there's got to be a property here for them. Obstacle type. It's going to be an obstacle. I don't think this will do it automatically. Let's check. Nope, does not do it automatically. So my guy can still walk through, but I've classified into the game's engine that that is supposed to be an obstacle. Now here's where we're going to go and get into the more in-depth part of this. This is the main graphic and layout interface. What I'm going to do is go over, you've got these three objects at the top. We've got our storyboard editor, which this is our first frame. You can see a little detail of the frame we made. If you double click on it, it takes you back to your frame. So we've got our storyboard editor, we've got our frame editor, which is what I'm in here, and then this one here is our event editor. Event editor is the big one. This is where all the magic happens. So what we're going to do in here, we want our little guy to stop moving and not be able to get past those brown blocks that I created in the environment, right? So we're going to click on here, new condition, and this is where the programming aspect comes in. And this is what I was talking about to you about how like some people may see this as not really programming and you're not doing yourself any favors by learning this, but it makes it so much more accessible, which is what I like about this. It does kind of the same idea of programming without having to learn the whole language and type everything out and know how to do all that stuff. So we've got our little active object guy here. We're going to tell him collision. If he collides with the backdrop, which is the backdrop that we've declared that are obstacles, we're going to, now you see how it created this whole list of objects for him, and these are all under all the things here. For special conditions, sounds, we could create a sound whenever he collides with the obstacle if we wanted to. We could do a storyboard control. We could start a timer. We could create an object. So like if he bounced in with the kind of like how Kirby does when Kirby collides with like platforms and stuff like that, little stars come out of him. We could create that. Mouse, keyboard, player one. This is like your live information, like your lives and your score. So I could make it that when he collides with the background, he just dies, or you get score. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to our active object guy, and we're going to say movement and stop, because we don't want him to go past that object. Now let's try it again, and let's see what happens. Bonk. Oh, look at that. Now he can't get out of this little arena. He's stuck. So now we've got our little arena that we've got. So if I wanted to make something along the lines of, say, like a little maze, we can go back over here to this, and I can put this here, this here. I'm going to move him out of the way a little bit. Put him over here. So you can see how you can start developing all of this stuff. You know, you can start really using it to create the game that you want to create. I'm going to move this. Whoa, no, I didn't want to do that. Oh shit, what did I do? I'm gonna undo that. I did not mean that. Move this over here. Put our little green one down here. And if you guys have any questions, please, by all means, post them in the chat. I would love to know. I would love to get any sort of, answer any questions that you may have. So now we can run this again. Oh, we've got our little guy. And of course, he can't go around these things, so we can get him to walk through our little maze. Now, the default movement system is not the best. You can see how he's kind of getting stuck here on things because his animations are a little bit wonky and all that jazz. But he's still getting through, and he's out. Yay! He made it. The default movement system it's good for beginners, but if you want to get more into it, I mean, you can actually, like, his whole movement system, how he moves, I could actually completely take control of that if I wanted to, and make him move however I wanted to. So, I'll show you what I mean here. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to save this real quick, just as a basic application for the moment. So what I'm going to do here is go over to his movement, make him a static movement. So this is going to get kind of into the more of the programming aspect that you'll see here. So I'm trying to think of what I need to do here. Let's go back to our event editor, and I'm going to make a new condition. I'm going to go to our keyboard and mouse pointer. Yeah, you could totally make an RPG with this program. That's actually kind of one of the things I would love to do with this, is to make an RPG. But we're going to go keyboard. Upon pressing a key, or actually we're going to do repeat while this key is pressed. We're going to press the up key. So we're going to press the up key right here. And then we're going to go position, select position. We're going to select him. Relative to him, it's going to be where he's at. Let's see, if he's moving, if we're holding up, we're going to be moving our y-axis up. Let's go 8 pixels. Actually, it's going to be negative 8 pixels because he's going to be moving that way. So set position at 0.8 from that. So essentially, it means he's going to move. It's going to move him 8 pixels upwards. Let's go back over here just so we can kind of see what I'm talking about. And you see how he moved up like that? Obviously, I haven't put any directions for him moving down or anything, so all I can do is go up and he's gone. But every time I push it, he's going to move up 8 pixels like that. And he's going to go away. So let's do the same thing again, but let's do it for the other direction. So we'll go ahead and copy this. Another neat thing you can do with the programming system is you can actually take this and you can drag it. So I'm going to take the repeat while up arrow is pressed, put it over here. But if I double click on it, I can put a new direction in there now. So now I've got while down arrow is pressed. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to copy that condition. Now obviously I don't want him going up when the down arrow is pressed, so I'm going to double click on this. Actually, nope, sorry, not bad. We're going to edit that, and we're going to change it to regular 8 rather than negative 8. We need to do the same thing for left and right, so we'll do left, put this here, edit. We're going to turn this to 0 and this to negative 8. And then same thing once again for right arrow. Take this here, I'm going to edit this, change that to just regular 8. Okay, now if we go back into our frame again, look, he moves anywhere we want him to. It's pretty much just like that other system, right? The 8 direction movement that we made? Yeah. Except now we have more control over it because we created it. We're not relying on the system that it has in place. We're relying on our own system that we created. And with this, you can kind of dictate, whatever you want. But like I said, that's more complicated stuff. It's more complicated kind of programming in there. But it just kind of gives you an idea that you can create whatever you want. You can go with the basic stuff that they give you, or you can go into more detail and more depth and make it exactly and fine-tune it exactly how you want. But again, we've come into the problem that now he's going right across here. We have our thing right here that says he collides with the background and he should stop, right? Why isn't he stopping? Because the stop command is based on the movements that are programmed into the game. So what we need to do is, I'm trying to think of how I'm going to do this because it's been a while since I've done it. So we're going to make it though, so when he collides with the background, let's delete this. We're going to delete that command. Well, we'll delete the whole thing. My bad. And we're going to change this. We're going to add a little bit to it. We're going to make it a little bit more complicated. Insert, and we're going to say his, and they've got flags. Flags. We're going to change is flag 1 on. Okay, plus internal flag 1. Actually, no, let's edit that. Dang it. Let's replace that with alterable values. Flags is flag off. Flag 1. We're going to go with flag 1. So if flag 1 is off, and we're going to add this onto each one of these conditions. Again, you can drag these onto there. So now we've got this thing on here. Now, of course, if I go... Okay, let me take a step back. Every active object that you create has multiple things. They've got what are called alterable values, which, like if I were to create a new thing here, you can see here, alterable values, compare one of the alterable values. And they have a whole list, A through Z. So you get like 26 different alterable values to deal with for every single active sprite that you've got on the screen. And then you've got flags, which flags are pretty much, as far as I know, as many flags as you want. I mean, back when I first started doing this, every object had 3 alterable values. I think it was A, B, and C, and they only had like 6 or 10 flags. Like, so there's a huge room for improvement now compared to what it used to be. Anyway, but alterable values always start at 0. They always start default at 0, and flags always start default at off. So because our little character is where we put this thing in here, repeat while the up arrow is pressed, it'll move him up, but it also has both of these conditions that are in that event, both of those have to be true at the same time. So while the up arrow is pressed and his internal flag 1 is considered to be off, which it's off by default, then we're going to move him upwards 8 pixels. Now we need to come up with a condition that tells him, that tells the system that when he collides with a wall, it needs to stop him. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go like this. We're going to go collision with the backdrop. So he's colliding with the backdrop now. But we have to add more. We can't just leave it at that because the system, I mean, you can try leaving it at that, but the system's not going to know what to do. Your guy's going to get stuck if he collides with the backdrop because your guy's going to be moving 8 pixels at a time every time that he moves. So if we tell him to just stop the movement and not allow him to move anymore when he overlaps with the backdrop, then he's going to forever be overlapping with the backdrop and be stuck there. Okay? So what we've got to do, and I don't know how well this is going to work, I'm kind of playing it by the fly. We're going to add a new condition, and we're going to say the keyboard, and the up key is being pressed. Then what we're going to do here is we're going to take his position, select his position to him, and we're going to move him back down 8 pixels again. So we don't want him to do that. And we're also going to real quickly take his flag, set on. We're going to turn internal flag 1, turn it on. So basically what that means is once I hit a wall, my guy's not going to be able to move anymore. He's just going to stop completely flat. So let's oh, he already is. He's down here. So you can kind of see here, if I'm pressing the up arrow, now obviously left and rights are still going to be whatever. He's going to move wherever the heck he wants. But if I press this up arrow and he hits a wall, boop, I'm done. Can't move anymore. He's stuck. none of my buttons will work anymore because internal flag is still on and nothing has changed. You know, nothing is telling the flag to turn back off. So he's stuck. So what we need to do after that is we're going to create a new condition that's going to say something along the lines of not every second, but every 10th of or 1/100th of a second. We're going to go back over here and set the flag to off. We're going to turn that one flag off. So, if we try playing this again, now he should be able to go boop into the wall. He's going to vibrate a little bit, but he's not going to be able to get past that wall. But he's still going to be able to go through it. That's weird. Whee! But you can see how if I hit up, he's going to be like, uh-oh, I'm stuck on all these walls. But he still gets through it a little bit. There's obviously some fallacy to what I'm doing right now. There's something I've messed up. And that's part of the fun of programming, honestly, is trying to figure out what you've done and how to make it better. So what I would make this a lot more complicated if I wanted to actually make it work. But for what I'm doing for right now, we're just going to kind of go with it, okay? So let's close that out. Let's do the same thing for each one of these. What I'm going to do is just copy this for every one of these. I'm gonna move this up here. I just want it out. Let's just switch it. So I like to organize things a little bit better. So I'm just gonna keep creating new conditions for each of these. And I'm gonna do this. This can be down arrow is pressed. Oh, my bad. Escape. Let's edit this one. Put that at -8 since we're gonna move him backwards. This one we're going to be left arrow, edit that position, 8, 0, and then it's right arrow, -8, and 0. So now our little guy should, let's change this. Let's change this to every 10th of a second. Now let's try it. Now he's not going to bounce against the wall so much because there's going to be a limitation. He's not going to be able to move once you hit a wall for a second. So, boop. But he still is able to. It's less. You can see how fast the game kind of works, though. But see how we got out of there? Made our own little programming movement system pretty easy. Obviously, it's not perfect, but that's kind of the basic idea of how you can create whatever you want to with this system. And of course, there's still going to be some little things with it, like he's still going to get out. Whee! Into the wall he goes. But you also notice that he's not animating, right? So we can change that too. When we go back over to here with our up arrow is pressed, internal flag is off, what we can do is change our animation, change it to the animation sequence of walking. Okay, and then same thing for this one. Let's add that to each one of those. Oh my God, come here. Change to walking, animation, change to walking, and final one, change animation sequence to walking. Now, if my theory is correct on this, once we start doing this, he's gonna, because we've got no condition telling him to stop the walking animation. So basically, once we push a direction, like he's gonna start out still, but as soon as I push a direction, he's gonna just start walking forever. Because there's nothing telling him he needs to stop walking. Right? So, yep, that's going to happen. And of course, he's going to be able to cheat and get through walls and shit. Anyway, so there's nothing saying to stop the animation. So what we can do is make a new condition. And again, all of this stuff is just this is just very, very basic stuff. It's not perfect by any means. It's just me kind of showing you how the basics of things work. If we make a new condition and we go over here, the keyboard, let's see here. I know there's a way to do it. The keyboard. Upon pressing any key. Alright, let's do this. Let's take this little thing. We're going to go whoop, and put it over here. Let's take the down arrow one, put it here. Let's take this one, put it here. Take these here. So I've got all these things. Repeat while all 4 arrows are being pressed. Obviously that's not going to work, right? Let's negate these. So this condition right here is stating that when none of these 4 keys are being pressed, we're going to go over here, change his animation sequence to stopped. So that's saying none of them are being pushed. Not one of them isn't being pushed. It's not this condition is not going to activate if the up arrow alone is not being pressed. It's only going to activate if all 4 of those keys are not being pressed at that time. So when we do that, he stops moving. Or he stops animating, excuse me. So it's just like having our old animation sequence back, right? So he's going to be walking around, he's doing his little thing, but he obviously stops whenever I stop pushing the buttons. Now again, you can kind of change all these things to however you want them to be. You can make them so that, he moves slower through the maze. You can make it so that he moves 4 pixels each time, 2 pixels each time, 1 pixel each time. You can like put values in there so that the longer you hold the button, the more he speeds up to a certain extent. So that he starts at 1 pixel each time, but then he moves to 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to the 8 that we've got him currently at. So there's a little bit of an acceleration. You can leave it at what it is here. You can do whatever you want to. So it gives you so much different leeway of stuff you can do. Oh my gosh, Smiled, what did you do? Smiled says, "Hey boss, just wanted to let you know you've inspired me to make more videos. Keep up the great work." Aw, thank you, Smiled, and thank you for the $1.69 contribution. You are awesome. I'm happy that I'm inspired. What kind of videos do you make? Like, what kind of stuff? Are you talking about like gameplay videos? Or are you talking about like game making videos? Because inspiration is awesome regardless of where it comes from. So I'm happy to hear that. That's really cool. I need to take a drink. My throat's kind of dry on this. I've been talking so much.
This video is sponsored by Clickteam Fusion.
Yay! Not really, but yay! Hey Ace, you're welcome back.
Oh, I've been here. I've been washing dishes. I've just been quiet listening.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. Is everything making sense to you? Because like people in the chat aren't really talking, and that's fine. But I'm just curious.
It's more so that like I'm more in delved on what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so like, I don't know, because I'm not watching right now.
Right.
I'm just more so listening.
Okay.
And it's making sense because it seems to be like step by step.
Right.
I haven't had any questions thus far.
Okay. Well, that's one of the things. Like, I want to make sure that
you're doing a good job of explaining it.
I want to make sure that everyone's having like kind of an understanding of what exactly I'm doing here, because it's this program can be both easy and it can be hard. It's like you can make whatever you want out of it, and that's what's awesome about it.
It seems like one of those things where it's like, oh my god, it's like me when I'm editing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll go through and like you'll have your complete product, right? But if you miss something very minuscule and very small,
Mm-hmm.
then you could possibly ruin the entire thing and have to start all over. And
That's programming in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Programming in general was very much so that way. You could write all these lines of. They've made it so much better now. But back when I was doing it, you would write all these lines of code, or like you see on the screen here, all these events. You'd put all these events in, and you'd spend all this time, and in your head you've got everything right. You're like, yeah, that should work, and that should work with this, and that should work with this. But if you don't test it out frequently, and if you don't double check all your stuff, one little value, like I could type something in here, my internal flag 1, I could say set that off, but maybe I accidentally typed in 11 instead of 1, so that internal flag 1 never gets turned off because this condition isn't doing that. And so it's just going to mess up your whole program. And if you've got a whole list of events, like hundreds of them, finding that one little problem sometimes is such a pain.
Now, what if, well, does the game save, or does this save often for you? Or do you have to save manually?
I mean, I'm going to click Save As. I'm going to save this as Application 2. Smile to get to you in just a second here. I don't know if you can, let's see here. Edit.
Because I would imagine that if I was doing something like this and I was really into it, and then my power goes off or something,
right?
Like I'd be very demotivated to do it again.
I've definitely had that happen. Workspace General. Let's see here. Let's go to the General tab. Let me go to the General tab? Why is the General tab taking forever? Oh god. General tab. Auto backup. Number of backup copies to keep. Wow. Yeah, it has an auto backup system in it, so you don't lose that shit. So that's really good. Smiled says he donated $3. Thank you once again so much. You're awesome. Says I make montages. I make some montage stuff and some gaming news. Here's a montage you can check out later if you want. I will definitely check that out, Smiled. Thank you so much. I'm gonna definitely keep that up, and I'm gonna move this over here. That way, if I open anything in a window, it's gonna go onto that monitor. But let me actually click on this here real quick. So that way I've got it for the future and I don't forget. But I will watch that later, and I will I'll definitely tell you what I think about it. But yeah, you can have it set backups and everything for you, so you don't lose your progress, which is a huge improvement over what, like I said, when I first started using this program back. Oh god, I'm really gonna make myself sound old. 18 years ago. Because it was back when I was 16.
Oh, sound old, you know.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
But, yeah, back when I was 16, because I was making these back when I was in high school. I used to work on this stuff. And maybe I can pull up some of the old stuff I've done and show you guys. They should load in here. But, back then, man, things there were so many, the program was powerful and you could do a lot of stuff with it. There was a lot of potential, but there was also a lot of limitations. So you had to work with what you had. So just seeing all of these improvements, and basically there's no limitations at this point in time with the program because of how computers have evolved and grown, and how powerful they are now. It's just crazy what you can do. It just opens up all these possibilities that I didn't have in the past because I was limited by things. So that's really freaking cool. Pekak says, "Hey boss, guess who came out to his mom 2 days ago?" Oh my gosh, did you? Holy shit, dude! I hope that went well. I hope it wasn't a traumatic experience. From the way you said it, it sounds like it was a really good thing. So congrats, that's really awesome. Pekak is a fellow Pac-Man Smashboards member. We met on.
I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah, we met on Smashboards on the Pac-Man forum, or on the character threads before Pac-Man got announced. There was a Pac-Man thread in there, and we used to talk on there all the time and theorize and stuff. And him and I kind of talked about things, and kind of PMs and everything, and became friends. And then, yeah, so he's a really cool dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys like to eat balls? Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so going back over to here to the program here. So we've got our little program. I saved this kind of just as is for right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up. I already have it right there. I'm going to go back and open up application 1. So you can see over here you can have multiple applications open at the same time, which is really cool. Again, huge improvement over what I was used to. Pekak says she took it well. She doesn't approve per se, but she still loves and supports me, and she's keeping an open mind. Oh, that's really awesome. I mean, a lot of times that's kind of the first step. A lot of people are like, well, I don't really approve because I don't agree with it, but they don't understand it. That's why. So once they see that you're still who you are, and you're not like some heathen, then they're going to still love you no matter what, and it'll become easier for them to accept in the future. That's really good. I'm super happy to hear that. So I'm going to go back to the application one that we opened that we had before, and if we go back over to our frame, and then go back to the event editor, we shouldn't have all that stuff. Now we just have this basic stuff here, because this is what this one was, remember? Same thing with this one. You can see you can switch back and forth between them. But this one, we had just had the basic stuff, collides with the background. If we play this one, it's going to be this little system that we made before, right? Cool. This is our old, kind of crappy movement system that was the default one that was in the game. So again, I'm going to show you a little bit about what you can do with basic stuff. Actually, I'm just going to select all these. That will make this a little bit faster. Let's get rid of these up here. Get rid of, let's move this one down here. Oh, let's get rid of that. And then we're going to paste some of these in here. Put all these in here. Hey Cardinal, thanks for joining us. Pickac, what am I planning to do with this? Nothing. This is honestly just me showing off what this program can do. This program, just to kind of reiterate for those people who are now joining, this program is called Clickteam Fusion. We went over it a little bit at the start of the stream. Basically, it is a game making program or program making program. I mean, you can make you don't have to make games. You can make utilities and stuff too if you want to. But it's basically a pretty wide axis thing that you can use to make a lot of kind of 2D applications. It's not really good for 3D. It's really good for 2D. But yeah, you can make your own games, your own applications. And normally, just to buy Clickteam Fusion, the basic version, not the developer version, just the regular basic version, is like $100. And the developer upgrade, so that you can actually publish your games like professionally, is $300. So that's $400 right there just to buy all this stuff. And then the iOS exporter is $150. The Android exporter is another $100. So there we're up to $550. No, that's $650, isn't it? My math? Yeah, math. That's $650 right there. And then there's an HTML exporter too, which is another $70. So that's going to take you up to $720 total for all of this stuff. It's ridiculous. It's so expensive. If you're really into game making, it's worth it. But right now, on the Humble Bundle, all of that stuff is $15. So that's why I'm showing this off, because this is an amazing opportunity for anybody who wants to get into game programming, wants to make their own projects and stuff, to go and buy this, because you're saving yourself a ton of money. You can't really go wrong for $15 to have these things, and they're linked into your Steam library, so you'll have them forever. And all of the expansions and stuff will all be there too, so you don't have to worry about losing any of this. But yeah, $15 for this amazing program that I love it so much. I've been using this for years. Anyway, back to what I was doing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create. Okay, I'll post the link here. I think it's just humblebundle.com. I believe it's just right there, the Clickteam bundle. And you get a bunch of games too, actual Steam games. And the neat thing too is not only do you get the Steam games, but on a few of them, they actually give you the source code for those games too. So you can see how these games were created in this program. You know, these games that are actually on Steam, you can actually open them up and see all the lines of code, see how they were made, see everything. So it's just stupid great. It's amazing. So what I'm going to do here is, and you guys will see it here in just a second. There's one of those back there. Get out of here. I'm going to create this stuff here. This looks a little weird, and you'll see why here in just a moment. I'm going to move him down over here. Oh, god damn it. Alright, what we're going to do instead here, just to kind of show off a little bit more of what the program can do, instead of him being an 8-direction thing, because right now we've got our 8 directions, right? He can just kind of go wherever he wants. He's still going to collide with objects, he's still going to stop, but he can kind of go wherever the heck he wants. Cool. We don't want that. So instead, what I'm going to do is move those over there. I'm going to put one here. Actually, no. Let's get rid of that, just as an example. Because this is where we come into game design. This is where we start having a lot of fun with game design. I'm going to change him. Change him from that to a platform movement. So acceleration, I'm going to take that up to, whoa, they changed the slider. It used to be 100. Let's just make it 200. Deceleration is going to be 200 as well. Because basically what that means is he's going to decelerate and accelerate fast. His movement's 50. Let's take that down to like 45. And let's test this out. Let's see what happens if I run this. So that's his basic movement. Now you see how he kind of moves back and forth and stuff. And we've got our little jumping animation. Actually, we didn't put a jumping animation in, but that's his basic stuff. So he moves back and forth. If I were to make it so that he were like on ice or something, watch this. Let's take his deceleration all the way down to like 25. And his acceleration all the way down to 25. Now watch what happens. See how hard it is to get him to move and how he slows down? It's like an ice level all over again. Alrighty. So that's not what we want. We're going to move it back over here, but just kind of as an example of what you can do to change this stuff and make your own things. I'll put that back at 200. There we go. Gravity. Let's change his gravity. Move that down a little bit. Make it to... Well, let's leave it at 50 actually. But let's change his jump strength to 100. Let's see what that does. Again, this is where it comes to... That doesn't work quite as well. Okay, but it works. So let's change the gravity down just a little bit. Let's take it to 40. That way we give him a little bit more jump height. Alright, so let's see here. What if I lower his gravity all the way down to like 18? Does that make him actually go higher? Whee! Yeah, it does. Boing! Boing! Oh, I love it. That's fun. So we don't want it that much, obviously. Let's go back over and put it at 35. I want it to be just enough so that he gets up on that ledge with just enough height. Just like that. See how he goes like, he's just high enough now? Now it's nice and even. It's like it feels good. It feels good you landed on that edge because it's perfect. It's the perfect amount. If you miss, then you're falling. Yep.
What is this groundbreaking new game called?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. By Boss.
By Boss, yeah, I have no idea. Example. I don't know. I'm just kind of just going with it. So.
What's the main character's name?
You're getting too in-depth right now.
Shit.
So, this is, like I said, what makes kind of game design fun, and this is where I start to really enjoy it, is creating something that will appeal to a player and give them a challenge and make them feel satisfied, but at the same time, you have to think. You have to kind of think outside the box and think about all the possibilities that a player may do. You have to kind of think about these things and apply them. Who gave me money? What? What's that for?
Somebody give me money.
On your stream? Like on your donated?
No, somebody somebody donated money to me, and then and they said that they were in your streams. I don't know who it was. It was one of the 10 people here.
You can't go to your Twitch alerts and find out? I'm sure you probably could.
It gives me. Well, I'm on my phone right now. So
Oh, okay.
I can't look. I have to look later then. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's
like
one of 10 people. Who did it?
Who did it? Which one of you did it? But like this, for example, I want to make it so that let's insert an object. We're going to make this an active object. We're going to put it over here. Move it right here. Once again, we're going to resize this down to 16 by 16. Apply that. And we're going to draw our little lines here. And we're going to make a cute little we'll make an apple.
That's really smart.
An apple.
Yeah, just because.
Okay.
Kind of for some weird reason with me, and like I said again, I can show you some of my old games and stuff, but there was apples were like a theme for me. I don't really know why. Anyway, we'll put our little stem on it. Maybe make a little leaf, make it cute. Alright, and then let's fill our colors in. Let's do that. Let's make our little leaf green. I don't like that green. Different green. Boop, that one's better.
Make the apple fire red.
Fire red?
Yeah.
Which red? Which one do you want me to use?
Fire red.
Which one's fire red? Like fire truck red?
You not get the joke?
Are you doing Pokemon jokes?
Yeah.
Okay, I got that.
Okay.
I'm sorry for being oblivious.
Okay.
All right, so let's put some little bit of shading on our apple and stuff, and then because apples are they're pretty shiny, so we're gonna make the bottom of it a little bit, have some nice little shimmer. Add this stuff in here. Man, I freaking love pixel art. It's so fun. Like, it seriously
I didn't know
is.
you had to think for it.
Oh my gosh, yes. I love pixel art. So let's do this. We'll give a little bit of shading onto our leaf just to show it off a little bit. And then let's make this apple really shine. Let's not do that right there. Let's do this. We'll add this here.
I just adore how you do the little shading.
So, if we zoom out now, we got this cute little apple. Look at this thing. Look how cute that apple is.
You are so good at that. What the fuck? Ah. Oh my god, that looks so nice.
Yeah, it's so fun.
I would eat that.
I would eat that.
That's decadent. Ooh.
All right, so we're going to do this. Once again, actually, let's double click on this again. We're going to... Oh no, we can just do this. I forgot. We're going to make this 64 by 64. Apply. All right. Now we've got our giant apple up there. That's the same size as him. Woo! So, what I want to do here, let's go back over here. Hey, Miss Cargo, thank you for the host. I really appreciate it. If you've been watching, I hope you're having fun. So what I'm going to do is go back over to our event editor. And we're going to make a new condition that says, when this little guy here, our main guy, collides with another object. So we're going to make him collide with the apple. So when he touches the apple, we're going to basically destroy the apple. So he collected
Destroy it?
Well, you know, like a coin. Like when Mario collects coins in
He
a
doesn't
game.
destroy them.
Well, he destroys them in terms of the game. The game thinks he destroys them. They get removed from the premises.
Yes,
So,
that's what I mean.
yeah. So, like
And
right
you're
now.
also going to include a counter, correct? Or no?
Well, I could. Right now, I'm just showing off what it does. So, if we go over here and we play this now every time he touches one of these, they go away. So he can collect all of the apples. There we go. And again, the default platforming system is shit. I hate it. Like, look, he can get stuck on his arm. He just like, what?
Wait, you can't put the hitboxes at just the bottom of his feet or something?
I could if I got more in depth with it. This is this is using the default platforming engine that's built into the game, so you can do it. Like what I could do is create like an invisible hitbox that was basically just his feet, and always have the character instead. Think of it like this: you wouldn't be moving the character; you'd be moving the hitbox around the screen. And the character would just always be at the same position as the hitbox at all times.
That sounds a lot like Mario 64. Super Mario World Mario.
Super Mario
Where
World
he
Mario.
would, yeah, because do you know how no matter how tall he was or whatever, he would like halfway fall into things like this guy is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like that.
Mm-hmm. So like that's something you could definitely do. Actually, let me do that just so we can kind of. So let's clone him.
Oh my god. This program is so cool.
It's
I like this.
it's really neat. You can do so much with it. So what I'm going to do here is we're just going to go. Let's zoom out on this. I didn't mean to zoom that
When
much.
we did
Jesus.
this in school, we used something called Game Maker or something.
Yeah, Game Maker it's good too. Actually, that was on the Humble Bundle last time.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was Game Maker was just on the Humble Bundle like a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, and I bought it too because it was $15 for everything. So I was like, I can't resist that. I can't give that up. It's just stupid. But this one, I like this one better. It's Game Maker is good, but it's still very kind of intimidating to get into a little bit. There's still a lot of programming knowledge you kind of have to learn before you can actually start doing anything. Whereas Clickteam Fusion, you can really just kind of jump into because they give you a lot of defaults, and you can just play around with shit and just make it however you want. So what I'm going to do here, this backdrop.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a philosophical question.
Okay.
Okay, so as time goes on and as time advances, more and more people are getting access to computers and cameras and programs like these.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are getting the opportunity to create content,
Right.
whether it's art or videos or music or games or any number of those things or a combination of those things. So my question is, do you ever think we'll get to a point where nothing will be original anymore because there's so many things out there that have been created? Because that's actually a crisis that a lot of people, including myself, are going through right now. Like, what can you do that's new? What can you do that's innovative? When there's so many people out there doing so many different things that have probably been done before, you know? Like, how can you make a new game?
I don't
There's so
know.
many
I think it's one of those situations where gaming itself is a medium that's still relatively new
Yes.
in terms of developing stuff. So there's still a lot of ideas to be explored. But like if you're talking about, writing a book or making a movie
Yes.
or something like that, those have been around for forever. So finding a new idea in those mediums is like almost non-existent anymore. Like it's rare that you see something you go, oh my god, this is the first time I've ever seen this. Like everything is kind of stolen from something else. But I think here's where it gets a little bit different: is that people are so afraid of copying somebody else or thinking that their stuff is unoriginal, that they let it hinder the creativity of their own uniqueness into something that may have already been, or something that may already exist, or an idea that already exists. So what I mean by that is, let's take you for example. You make YouTube videos, and you stream, and you do YouTube videos where you play Smash Brothers, and there's dozens, hundreds, thousands of other people out in the world that do the same thing. And if you look at it from that perspective, if you look at it as simply as that, then it's, you know, it sounds really intimidating and it sounds really, you know, like disheartening. Like, why would I do this? Everybody else is doing it. But
Correct.
where it comes into is your own creativity and uniqueness and your own spin on things. Nobody else is creating Smash Brothers content like you are. Somebody else may be doing stuff that's, you know, using the same game, but you're putting your own flair and your own spin on it. So even though it's something that, an idea that has already been done before, your idea is different because of you, if that makes sense.
Okay, so that does make a lot of sense. And so you feel like the same logic can apply to video games
Oh, definitely,
and other
yeah.
mediums of content?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, most definitely. Like,
But
there's...
what if you're...
No, go ahead.
Now, if I might feel this way about my own content, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, most of the time, when people create content, they put it out for other people to judge, you know, to evaluate it, you know, to like it or dislike it, you know,
Correct.
put their stuff out there. Like, doesn't that kind of put your work subject to being called a copy of something else? You know, like, I know you might interpret it that way, you know, or I mean, I myself might interpret my work that way.
Right.
But what if other people interpret it like, you know, like, should you be making things that, you know, you want to do, but you should also consider the interests of the people that are judging your work, or just based upon you, and then base your foundation off of that? What do you think?
I think doing that stifles creativity. If you're always afraid that what you're doing may have been done before, or that somebody may criticize you for, like right now I'm pixeling an apple. I'm not the first
Correct.
person that has ever pixeled a fucking apple. Like, there's other
I
people.
know. Like, those look like Zelda apples. I see that bitch.
Yeah. So other people, you know, have pixeled apples before. Professional companies have pixeled apples before. So I'm not the first, but, you know, my apple may look different than a different apple. The main difference is, it's kind of like, you know, drawing in general. Like, it's okay to use somebody else's... Like, how many artists out there are there in the world? And how many of them...
Oh, God.
Exactly. And how many may draw, for example, Tracer, you know, from Overwatch? How many of them may draw Tracer, and every single one of those Tracer pictures looks different? You know, you're
Yes, they
using
do.
the same character, but you're completely evolving it based on that person's personal perspective. So that's another way to look at it. Like, this apple that I've pixeled on the screen here, you know, you recognize that it's an apple, you know that it's an apple, but it's not, you know, it may look similar to other apples out there that have been pixeled before, but I created it. This is my own interpretation of what an apple looks like. So we're getting really philosophical here.
Yes, we are. and I enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh, god damn it. That thing still isn't worked. Please update this API to... Okay, I'll have to fix that stuff. The thing is I need you guys here to do this, because I can't update that API shit until they won't let me, because I'm not following my own channel. They won't let me follow my channel, so I need somebody here to do this stuff to help me out.
Hi, my name is Ace to the Third. Sometimes I make videos and sometimes I stream, and I'm also a friend of Boss, and I follow him on Twitch TV. So
Oh, this is convenient. Look how convenient
Wow.
that is.
I know, right?
Right.
I think I might be able to help you with your problem
Oh, maybe you can help me with my problem.
sometime. Okay, I got you then. Let me know.
Let me actually see if let me see if I can just fix it real quick, if it'll let me do it. Let's edit this. User has been following Boss for. What do I need to do here? Let's update this API to.
Oh, that's why you're good at this stuff. Duh. Programming.
Yeah.
Cause and effect.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna do this. Oh, god damn it! I'm so scared. I'm gonna fuck this up.
So you're good at logic strings, then.
Yeah.
This happens for this reason.
Oh yeah, that's how my brain works, because I've done programming for so long. So that's why I'm very much so a very almost kind of logical type of thinker. So if something doesn't work out logically to me, or if I can't figure out a solution to the problem, it really kind of bothers me after a while. But yeah, my brain definitely thinks more in a programming sense than anything else. Okay, that's not working. What the hell?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. My name is Drathon, and I donated a penny more than Ace. I believe I deserve moderator.
Wouldn't Cosmo deserve moderator?
Yeah, Cosmo definitely would, because he did the most, yeah. Anyway, let's go back to this. So, I'm going to learning and philosophy. So what I'm going to do here, I've got this active object, and that's the exact same size as his little feet. So what we're going to do is we're going to, we're just going to click on this object. I think there's an option over here to make this object invisible at the start of the game. So see how I did that? It still shows up here, but when I start the game, look, it doesn't exist. It goes away. So what we're going to do instead, we're going to create that and have that be our platform movement. Okay? And we're going to move this over here. And what we're going to do...
I still think chat should give our character a name. Your character a name.
Yeah, go ahead. The chat can give the character a name. Thanks, Lex. I'm glad that you're loving the stream and learning and philosophy and stuff. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to make him not be a platform movement. He's going to be static movement. But what I'm going to do here is we're going to go back over to our event editor, and we're going to change that to that, change that to that, and we're going to make a new condition. We're going to change the condition, and we're going to make it say, I think it's this one. No, where is it? Always! We want the always condition. So always, we're going to animation, change animation sequence to, use calculation, and we're going to make it current animation value.
Now I have a question.
That works.
Have you ever played a game called WarioWare DIY?
Yeah, I did.
I adore that game, and it reminds me a lot of this.
Yeah, because you could kind of make your own things and stuff. You can make your own mini games.
It also had conditions and how things collided with other hitboxes, and make your own sprites and your own music and everything.
Yeah,
that's very reminiscent of this game. I like this.
Yeah, it is. It's very much so, and that's basically what programming is. But But WarioWare DUI and DIY, DUI, dunking under.
Oh my god!
WarioWare drinking under the influence.
He needs to go on another money adventure to get bail. Oh my god! His car is gone.
Drathon, thank you for the $1 donation to up yourself above Cosmo with the message "Get wrecked, Cosmo."
Oh yeah.
So what I'm going to do here is I've got this always condition. I think this will work for this. But what I'm going to do here, let's actually see this. If I go here, because my guy's not going to be... Okay, that does not. What we'll do, we'll delete that for right now. We'll make a different condition. What we're going to do is position, select position, and make it so that this thing is... I need to actually go back over here so I can have access to it. Let's move him over there. So we're going to go position, select position to be 0, 0 from that one. So he's always going to be on top of that position. Now if I go over here and change this again, whoop! Oh, I need to stop that, not stop him. So you can see here now, he moves around now. Can we jump with him? Yeah, and see how he falls off the ledges now and stuff? Falls a little bit more naturally. That's nice.
Somebody said Wasabi. I think Wasabi is a good name.
Wasabi for him? Okay, we'll go with Wasabi for... Oh my god, he just dropped so suddenly. He dropped like a rock. But yeah, that moves a little bit more fluidly. Like he can't...
Oh, so you're doing gravity mechanics now?
No, I'm just showing how I made that invisible object to make the hitbox a little bit better. So my character isn't moving right now. The hitbox is moving, and he's always staying with the hitbox.
Okay.
So,
Well, how are you gonna make him like walk animation?
well, that's the next part we're going to do. So what we're going to do here is make a new condition, and we're going to change this and say that if this animation, which animation is playing? If the walking animation is playing, then we're going to go animation, change this animation sequence to be walking as well. And same thing, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make a new condition that says if the stopped animation is playing, we have to change this one to stopped as well. Change animation sequence to stopped. So now, if I go back over to the game, now my guy should walk and stop.
If you can make a game on any official platform out there, what would be the one you would choose?
I don't know. That's a good question. Because, like, I feel like the Wii U would probably have the most potential, you know? Like, you've got the whole gamepad and you've got the actual screen. You don't have to use the gamepad, but if you want to, you've got some huge thing. I think if I was going to make a game on... Gosh, it really depends on the game. Because there's a lot of games that I think would work out amazingly on, like, cell phones. Just because of the whole touchscreen interactivity. But, which, by the way, they actually have an extension for this game that you can actually do kind of touchscreen interactions. So you can make it so that you actually make a touchscreen kind of game for phones. But if I were to make a game like that, if I'm going to make a platforming game, obviously I don't want touchscreen controls for that. So, you know, Steam would be better for me. I'm very much so a big Steam/mobile gamer. So, ooh, 3DS. That's what I would do it for.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say. I was originally gonna say DS because there's two games that seriously stick out to me when it comes to game design. And that's Rhythm Heaven Fever, or not? Just Rhythm Heaven.
Yeah.
And have you played The World Ends with You?
I never got the chance to.
That game's design is so incredible to me. Like Square Enix did a fantastic job because, like, the bottom screen, you controlled one of your characters, Neku. He was like the main character. You controlled him using touch controls on the bottom screen.
Yeah.
And on the top screen, you controlled your other partner character using buttons. So you would have dual combat going at the same time. So like you would use your right hand to hit the X, Y, A, B buttons, control the top screen, and then well, you know what I'm saying. Use one hand to control one and the other in order to do combat. It was incredible. And that's one of the things that, like, I thought, wow, it's simplistic as hell, but it's brilliant, you know.
Yeah.
So I think the dual screen system, the fact that you can touch things on the DS, like you have two screens, to me, that would be the best platform that I'd personally use to make a game. I think I can make the coolest thing with that too. The gamepad, you could low-key do the same thing.
Yeah.
But to me, it's too detached. I don't know. Like, I like the fact that with the DS, it's one on top of the other, so you can see both, and both can bleed into each other, versus two separate things on two separate screens that are far away from each other. I don't like that.
Yeah. I definitely agree. And remember when the 3DS first came out, people were all like talking about it and how, you know, they were like, oh, it's just a second screen. It's going to confuse me. It's too much to look at. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
I don't know why Nintendo's doing this. It sounds stupid. Like, I remember all those complaints when it first came out. I was like, really? Come on, guys, really?
Also, give me 1 sec.
Sure. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete these little platforms that we made because, just for the sake of this, I want to make some different platforms. We're going to create, so I'm going to clone this object and put it, is that it right there? Is that my backdrop 3?
Do I sound better?
Yes, much.
Okay.
What is that? There's a layers tool? What is that thing? Layers tool? can lock the layers. You can make multiple layers in this now? Oh my god, they've done so much good stuff. I love this. What is this thing? No, cancel. That's backdrop 1. Where'd my backdrop 3 go? There it is. I want that thing. Okay. So put backdrop 1 there. I'm going to put another one of these here. What I'm going to do with backdrop 1 is I'm going to... Don't have to make it proportional. Let's make this height 16 pixels. Apply. There we go. Now we have... Oh. Damn it. Order to front. Okay. We're going to create some actual platforms.
Platforms?
Actual platforms!
What's platforms? It's a platforming game! I'm kidding, I'm kidding. You remember this from, right?
No?
The stupid Conquer game?
Oh my god, I love the Conquer game. Conquer's Bad Fur Day? What?
No, I'm sorry, what was his name? Bubsy.
Oh, Bubsy. Okay,
Yeah,
Bubsy the
Bubsy.
Bobcat. Oh my god.
Yeah, Bubsy the Bobcat. It was some really awful 3D game that Johnny Tron did a little video about.
John Tron. Johnny Tron. I like how you call him Johnny Tron.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, it's John Tron.
Oh, I
Does
thought
it
you
sound
said-
like I'm saying Johnny?
I thought you said Johnny Tron. I was like, Johnny
Nah.
Tron!
Nah.
Okay, so can't get that apple over there now. That makes it fun. No, I can't get it. So it's one of those things where it's like... Again, this is just kind of the stupid basic game design and shit like that. But so I can't get that there, so let's put a platform here. And now I would have to jump across that to get over to it. Still not hard, but boop, there we go. But, you know, kind of making things challenging like that is a part of what makes game design kind of fun. And my guy still stops. Why does he stop there? That's what the weird part is to me. But regardless, anyway, so our little wasabi guy is running around on these little platforms. Bubsy 3D, oh my god. Cardinal, my day was pretty awesome. It was pretty boring at work and I was tired all day long. I'm actually going to probably head out here soon because I need to get some sleep, but I really just wanted to do this tonight because I knew if I played Batman I was only going to play it for a couple hours. And that's not a bad thing, but I'm so excited about this bundle being on there for $15 that I wanted to show you guys what all this stuff can do. That I figured this was going to be my stream tonight, was this. So I actually may end it here soon because I'm trying to think of what else I can. I mean, this is just kind of a basic introduction of what you can do with it. You can add sound effects to your games, you can add music, you can add pictures. Like I could have this whole background rather than being green. I could make it like an actual picture from my computer or something like that, like a you know, beautiful scenery in the background or something like that. You can kind of do whatever you want and create whatever kind of game you want. And you're not limited to this area. You see how I've got like this. That's my gameplay area, and that's what the window is. But you see how these little blocks over here kind of come outside of the area? My game dictates that the game itself is, the window size is 640 by 480. But my actual frame size, what I can do with this, is I can make this 1280 by, we'll just leave that the way it is. Hit enter. Look at all this extra room I have now. So I've got all this extra stuff I can do. And I can grab all of these little objects, move them over here, copy all of this stuff.
Oh, if only there was a way for me to go back and watch this stream.
I know. You think I should upload it to YouTube?
You know, that would mitigate my issues.
I
Quite a bit.
think it would. That may be what I need to do.
Oh my god.
Why is that up there? I don't even know. We're going to get rid of him. We don't need 2 of these objects. We don't need that. I don't want that. Actually, let's just delete these platforms here. And we'll just delete that. We're going to copy this. I do plan on uploading this to YouTube.
Yes.
So. Why did I only get those ones? Weird. Now, another thing you can do here, you see me copying all these stupid little green blocks and stuff. This is actually really dumb on my part, because what I can do instead, I'm going to clone this, right? I'm going to create, actually, I'm going to do a quick backdrop object. Boop. Looks the same, right? It's a giant green blob. Cool. What I'm going to do with this giant green blob, though, first of all, let me get rid of all this other shit. Also, I do recommend I mean, I don't know. How do you stay productive, Ace? What keeps you productive?
What keeps me productive?
Yeah, like what would keep, like music-wise? Is there a particular thing that keeps you productive? And here's the neat thing about quick backdrop objects. You can just resize them to whatever you want. Look at that. I'm going to move this order, send that to the back so the other objects are up front. And look, now I've got this giant green palette in the background.
I usually will I rarely go through entire game playlists unless it's Final Fantasy 13. But I usually take one song and I go on the 30-minute extensions of them. And my thing is I try to my best to finish what I'm doing or get as far as I can within that 30 minutes. So before the video ends. So it's either that or a time goal. But I definitely need like a little. The music is basically my timer, essentially.
Okay, that's interesting. Having music be your timer.
So that keeps me focused. Or motivation from other people. Like fans wanting something ASAP when I set or setting the time for me to do something and trying to get it out in that time.
Right.
Or you.
Me?
Yeah.
Trying to... Oh, no! I deleted all the things.
You're going to upload Kirby by the time we get home?
Yeah. Yes.
And what did I do? I did.
You had it done. I was so proud of you.
So I didn't upload it like until a week afterwards. Like, okay. Because I couldn't do the thumbnail. I was so mad I did it in 60 frames. You know, I low-key, when I was doing the video, I was a little bit, like, on edge. Because, like, I didn't want... Mike or Alex to barge in, like, hey!
Hey, what you doing?
What you doing?
What you doing in here?
Yeah. Are you playing Kirby? Or, like, let me play.
Alright. Did you take... What does he say? Ace, are you going to upload stream highlights to YouTube? Also, did you take down the most recent sub-tournament stream for unexplained reason? I forgot about that. I just read it out loud. I'm sorry.
My only... Listen, boss, I'm trying to explain something here. If you could just shut your fucking mouth for 2 seconds, please. Just 2 seconds.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Hello? Anyway, so... The only issue
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
The only issue I have with uploading highlights, I want to, but literally going through all that damn footage trying to find something funny, like while concentrating the entire time and not doing something else and missing something, is really annoying. Like I really do want to, but it's really gonna take me a lot of concentration or me taking down notes of when funny things happen, or a fan telling me, oh no, well this is actually where odd shots come in. Like if more people took odd shots, I'd actually be really happy about that, because that'd give me more opportunities to find out where the funny moments are. They can just compile them.
Right.
I might actually like make a note on my stream, or whatever, like take odd shots, so that I can so those can be archived and then made them.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, getting like fans or viewers to kind of chip in on that too. Like
yeah, clips or odd shots. Yeah. That makes things super simple. And yes, I did get rid of that stream because it was bad quality.
I mean, you
so
can't
just had
help
to
it
get
if it's
rid of
bad
it.
quality. I mean, it's,
Yeah, there was audio cutouts
Mm-hmm.
and it was just bad. So I had to get rid of it as soon as possible. And I'm gonna get rid of Bosk as soon as possible too. The next time I see him. So
Hey, I'm not doing anything. That's not cool. Can you get that
I was
apple if I
kidding.
try this? Let me see something here.
I want to throw you into a ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh my
Okay.
god, that would actually be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I love ball pits.
Yeah, those things are freaking fun as fuck.
Alright. So,
Yo, Yoshi, shut up! Anyway,
I don't know who that person is that he's talking about.
I don't either. What
Yeah,
the fuck?
it's weird. I don't know. Okay, so this is kind of an intro to game design with Clickteam Fusion 2.5 that, like I said, once again, I'm going to reiterate, you can get for $15. $750 worth of stuff is $15 right now. Actually, $720. Regardless, it's a fuck ton of money. $720 worth of stuff is 15 bucks right now on the Humble Bundle. It's amazing. So, if you guys think this is something you want to do, I highly, highly recommend. I mean, you can't go wrong for 15 bucks. It is amazing. But this is kind of, like I said, just an intro to what you can do with it. I would like to get more into game design in the future. And what I would actually like to do is to stream game creation. There's some game projects that I really want to work on. These ideas that have been like bubbling and boiling in my head that I've been wanting to get out for a while. Like I've got a kind of a Metroid style game that I really want to create. Oh, I was going to show you guys some stuff that I used to make in the past. Oh yeah, your little message popped up on my screen, by the way.
Oh, it did.
Oh well, yeah, whatever. But yeah, I've got some ideas for games that I really, really want to start working on, and I need encouragement to do it because I'm a lazy ass motherfucker, and I don't get stuff done without any sort of like motivation or people like encouraging me to do stuff sometimes.
Oh.
I know, you're not alone.
Okay.
Well, no, what I'm saying is like if somebody just tells me you should do this, you know, it's like, okay, I should do this, and then I don't. Right? So, but if I were to stream game development, you know, actually making the game, making the graphics, making the gameplay, making, you know, doing the programming, stuff like that, and if I had people that were kind of there who were, you know, keeping me company or just, you know, learning from the stream or encouraging me to keep going, like that's a huge incentive to keep going because I actually used to do art on stream before, and that was like I could focus on art when I was in a stream, and I would focus on it for hours. But like if I just try to draw on my own, it's really hard for me to do it, you know? So I think I would actually like to do this. If you guys want to see more of it, like I said, I've got some ideas in my head that have been kind of they've been churning for a while, and I'd like to put some of them out there. There's certain parts of the gameplay, if I do start progressing pretty far into it, where I probably wouldn't stream those parts just because I don't want to spoil things, but I would like to do that. That would be fun. Also, there was another idea that I had a long time ago, which was, I don't know how well this would go, but I was thinking about making a game based entirely on what Twitch chat wanted. So
Twitch makes games.
kinda, yeah. Like doing a thing where, like taking a poll in the chat and being like, okay, what type of game are we making? RPG, platformer, you know, adventure game, a Zelda style game. You know, what kind of a game are we making? Okay, cool. We've got the game idea down. Now, somebody, like a few people in the chat, throw out some ideas for what the main protagonist should be, and then we'll let the chat vote on what the main protagonist should be. And then we just kind of, every single part of the game, like aspect and design, would be based on what people vote for. Like, I don't know how well over that would go, but it sounds fun. Anyway, so I've saved this. This is just ideas for the future and stuff. So, like I said, if it's something you guys want to see more of, definitely let me know. I would really appreciate it. Let's see if some of the old applications that I used to make are here. Replicate Honey Pop. I've heard that game is amazing, and I've never played it. So back, let's see here. This stupid game. One of my first ever games. Oh my god. Yep, one of my first ever games. I don't even know if it'll work. I'm going to close these other ones. This old game was called Bouncin' Billy. It was my first ever game I made. Sounds really fucking stupid, I know. But this was the first ever game I made. And I think I even put my name on it and everything. Like it was originally my company that I made games under was Dusty Friend Productions.
Dusty Friend Productions.
I know, so original, right? That was so original. Let's see if it'll actually run.
Oh my. Dusty
No.
Friend Productions.
DF Designs. I did change it later on to DF Designs. Can I actually just resize this? It will do it. No, it's not going to redo it. It'll just do this, whatever. But I used, these were all old assets that were pretty much in the game, like the music and sound effects and stuff. Let me actually go over here real quick and just stop the music here real quick. Oh my god. All the old MIDIs and stuff. You could click on go. And this was the whole thing. Like the whole game premise on this one, like this is so early, but this is one of the games that I made in this program. So it was like I said, I used the old platforming system. You're a little guy. You can't touch those things, otherwise you. Oh my god, it's so bad. It's so bad. You had to collect all of the little bouncing balls that were in the stage. That was the whole premise.
Incredible.
It's so incredible, right? But I had like a bunch of stages, and it got harder. I mean, it did get harder. But again, it's like one of my first ever games I made. But I was very proud of myself for making all this. You can't touch those little tacks. If you do, he goes, wee! Like a classic Mario death. Oh my god, but this is like, look at all the old pixel art. I was so bad at it.
I love this. Aww. Aww, cute.
So that was one of the older ones I made. As I got a little bit better, I made, let's see here.
Wait, what are those little bouncy things?
The balls?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were, the storyline was that he had created a, kind of like a flubber kind of thing, like a rubber substance that basically didn't lose its bounce. Ever,
Like
so it would
the
bounce
fucking
in.
movie?
Kinda, yeah, I guess.
Copy.
Yeah, right? So see, no idea is original. But yeah, that was basically the thing. And Bouncing Billy 2, I was doing this, and this was like one of my old, like, I didn't even do much in this. I just made this thing here. And I think what I was most proud of with this was the walking or running animation. I spent so much time on this. All the games you made involve balls. Not all of them.
That.
Not all of them. But will it let you see it? Yeah, I think it'll play it. Yeah, that was his running animation. Like I spent forever trying to make it so smooth and shit. Let's do this. I can't just change all the frames. I have to do them all individually, which is stupid. But yeah, like I spent so long on that stupid thing, on that goddamn animation. It's so small, but I mean, you can just see like the subtle differences and stuff in it, how it moves. But so that was that. Let's see here. Let's close that out because that was supposed to be a sequel to that original game, and I never got that far. Let's see here. I think this was one of the sequels that I did. Was this it? What is it? Oh, this wasn't a sequel. It was. Oh no, that wasn't what I'm thinking of. It was Bomber. I was making a Bomberman clone because I fucking loved Bomberman back in the day. Oh my god, it went full screen. There's the Dusty Friend Productions. I spent so much time animating that stupid explosion. Oh my god, it's so dumb. But yeah, like I made like this little like Bomberman kind of game that you actually could move around, and but the explosions never worked how I wanted them to, because like I said back then the system was really really limited, and so it wouldn't let you. I'm sure I could have figured it out, but you were just so limited on what you could do. Just all the old stuff, you know, man. It's like going back and seeing it all. But yeah, I couldn't make it so that the bombs or the blasts would stop when they hit a block. So they would just by default always go through all blocks.
Default through all the blocks.
Yeah, they would just go through everything. Like it would, like, you know, like if you had a bomb blast that was too wide and you put it right in front of a block, like it would go through that one and hit the one behind it too, because I couldn't figure out how to make the game stop when it hit the one. But again, I don't know, that whole programming aspect of it is a lot of fun to me. Like I really like doing that kind of stuff, like figuring out all of that. Oh, I made a Donkey Kong. I just for the sake of
You made it a Donkey Kong, really?
Just for the sake of, like, just tried to make it, like, almost as exact as possible. Oh, he doesn't do his... Oh, there it is. I tried... The differences here between... This is not how the game used to run. on the old programs, it used to actually be pretty exact. But I tried to make, like, his jump animation, like, exact. Yeah, the physics and stuff have changed between programs, so I would have to go back and edit things again to make this how it was before. But yeah, I made like a little Donkey Kong thing. But like kind of as it got along, let me see here. What was one of the ones I actually worked a lot on? Was it the ice game? I think that was one of them. There's so many. Like all these things are all little programs that I made. There's so many different things.
I love this.
It was really neat. Like it was so fun to do. Shivercross, that's what it was. Will this one open? I was trying to make like a Game Boy styled game back in the day. So
When you say back in the day, how long ago was this?
these were probably about 10, 15 years ago.
And you still have these saved?
Yeah, I never get rid of them because it's fun to go back and look at old stuff sometimes. And
It's fantastic. No, like the fact that you're able to save that information for that long.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is really neat about this program is that they still allow access and you can still open these old programs. Like the old versions of them, it still works.
Is there a...
But the main point of this game was just to use the ice blocks to get across.
Is there a cloud for this?
There might be now. For these things back here in the day, no. None of them that I know of. Yeah, like the main goal was just to get all those little things. And I think the game just ended there. Yeah, because I only made the one stage. It was mainly just building the engine. And then I think there was one... The Pac-Man game that I showed off at the beginning was one of the ones that I made that was the most detailed, that I spent the most time on, by far. Most of these things, like a lot of times when I do a lot of my pixel art stuff, I think where is it? There's one in here that's just MISC. And this thing is just literally just filled with a bunch of pixel art. That's all this. Wow, this is not what I remember. There's another version of this that has a lot more shit in it.
What?
Just the chat, people saying stuff. But yeah, I used to use this for. Let's see here. I tried to make a Picross engine. That's right, I did that at one point in time because I freaking loved Picross. So I made this engine here where you could basically drag things around with your mouse and then use the other key to X things out.
That is the cutest fucking thing. Oh my god.
What is
little,
a little
the
ice
pack
cube?
message. The message. I never seen that one before.
What one?
For pack dots. The chance thing. Chance command.
Oh, okay, yeah, I like that
Yeah, I
one.
never seen that. Oh, that's so fucking
But
cute.
yeah, I made like this little Picross engine, so you could.
Oh, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, tasty.
I never did anything with it, obviously, but like I said, there was a lot of shit that I used to do. I used to make these things of, and but anyway, so this program has so much opportunity and so much room to create basically whatever you want. Look, there's even tutorials here. There's an NPC talk system that you can just download, and you can just see it. Let's see here. Does it show in action? Yeah, like this is something you could make. Cute. So yeah, like this, like there's little tutorials on how, like people have uploaded so many little tutorials and things on the internet on how to, and they're all like kind of linked in here in the program. You can kind of see them here. You know, you can actually see other games that people have made. You can, like, look at all this stuff on here. This is a game somebody's made. You can see Concrete Jungle, Quadrille. Man, so many neat things. And there's like there's websites. There's just so many resources out there that basically allow you to pretty much create whatever it is you want. So if you're into video games, if you're thinking about doing any game creation, once again, I'm going to say it the final time, highly recommend getting this bundle. It's amazing. $15 and you can pretty much make whatever you want. 2D wise, again, not a 3D game creation system, but it is fantastic. Anyway, I think I'm going to end it there. Anything else you want to add before I go?
Just want to thank all my fans out there for watching the stream and everything. Like, I love you guys. And you really should check out this program. Like, I know that I can't make any games, but I'm pretty sure you guys have a lot more imagination than I do.
Ace.
So go ahead and check it out.
You could totally make games. You could make
Me?
whatever you wanted.
No, no way.
You could.
It wouldn't be good.
That doesn't matter.
Hey!
It doesn't matter. Creativity, let it flow. Doesn't
Even if
you
I'm
know what?
bad.
You know what though? I always go
What?
back to the old Adventure Time quote. Sucking at something is the first step to being actually sort of good at something. Something like that. I can't remember the exact quote, but you know what I'm saying.
Wow,
You know.
inspirational.
Yeah. Sort of. It's like, well, you're going to suck at first, of course. And you just saw like that, first Bouncing Billy game I made. It was terrible looking. It looked awful, but it was my first ever game.
Awful. It just looked
Very plain.
okay. A little shut up.
But, if the more you do it, the better you get at it, and the better things you'll produce out of it. So practice makes
Okay.
perfect. So
I'll take your word for it.
yeah. If you're not interested in game creation, that's totally fine. Not
Also,
everybody
I'm not
is.
interested. It's just like I'm afraid to like.
Well, that's why I have
To
all
make
those
something bad.
projects. There's so many things on my computer. And the neat thing is you can just you can make something, create a standalone file for it, and send it to a friend, and they can just open it like it's a regular executable, and then they can test out your stuff. So it's super fun. You can do that.
Would you
too.
test out my games even if they were bad?
Totally. I love
Would you
seeing
test
other
out
people's
somebody
creativity.
in chat's game even if it was bad?
Oh my God, yes. I love seeing that stuff. I used to do that back in the day with the, like I said, the game creation system. There was, or not the community. Excuse me. There was a whole. They called it the Click community because Clickteam Fusion, Clickteam made these games or these programs, and so they called it the Click community. And it's still alive and strong. You can still find websites and everything for these people. And yeah, I used to just. I had so much fun so much fun in that community, testing stuff for everybody else, playing all their little games, seeing whatever other people were developing, and sharing my own creations. So,
Is this where you see a lot of Newgrounds stuff?
no, that's more Flash stuff.
Oh, okay.
Ace should play Pac-Man with me. He should, but not with me. He should just play that game that he got for free on my stream sometime. That'd be pretty cool.
I looked at it.
Uh-huh.
It's intimidating.
It's really not. There's a tutorial and everything, and there's easy modes.
There's easy modes, huh?
There's easier modes, yes. And you'll see it looks intimidating, but once you get into it, it's actually not. It's not that bad.
Geez.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end it there, guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
No!
Okay, what?
I'm having such a good time.
I know, but I gotta go to bed. I'm tired, and Dan's gotta go to bed. He's back there laying down. He's all sleepy. So
You don't care about us.
I do. But I also care about my well-being, and you should too.
Okay, fine.
I'm gonna throw that
Alright,
at you.
thanks so much for shut the hell up. Anyway, thanks so much for joining the stream, guys. I really appreciate it. I mean, we'll be back some other time, right?
Yep. Back on Sunday. So,
On
or I'll
Sunday?
be
Okay.
playing with you whenever you play Overwatch and you stream
Wait,
again.
Sunday?
So. Yeah, Sunday. It's my next day.
3
to stream.
days? What am I gonna do without you for 3 days?
You'll get to talk to me whenever you want.
What about if I'm a fan?
If you're
what am
a
I gonna do
fan?
for 3 days?
I respond to Twitter messages. Come on.
But what if you're my favorite content creator and there's... Oh, wait, shit, never mind. Go back. Okay, go to bed.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, shit.
Good lord.
Okay, wow. Wow, okay. Just, yeah, no.
All right, guys. Have a good evening. Thank you so much for joining me and Ace this evening. And I hope you all have a wonderful time, and I will see you guys on Sunday. All right.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Ooh. Oh. Oh.